Welcome, everyone, to a journey into the deep sea. A dark blue world so deep that sunlight hesitates to enter. It's a realm filled with mysteries, and today we're going to meet one of its most extraordinary predators. When I say shark, what comes to mind? Probably a great white, with rows of terrifying teeth. But what if I told you about a shark that's completely different? Imagine a shark where nearly half its body is just tail. You heard that right. This is a shark that hunts not with its bite, but with its tail, which it wields like a whip. This is the ghost hunter of the seas, the Thresher Shark, also known as the sling-tailed shark. Our story begins in the late 1960s. The legendary explorer, Jacques Cousteau and his team were exploring the vast Pacific Ocean aboard the Calypso. During one of their dives, they encountered a series of strange, fleeting observations. The underwater camera would catch a lithe, powerful movement in the distance. A shadow would appear, then vanish in the blink of an eye. It would reappear, only to disappear again into the blue abyss. Cousteau, fascinated and puzzled, noted in his diary, "What we saw was a shark, but its tail was half the length of its body." What was this creature? At the time, even the scientific community knew very little about this elusive animal. It was a phantom, a whisper in the ocean, leaving more questions than answers. This first, curious encounter sparked a lifelong fascination for Cousteau and set the stage for one of the ocean's most incredible discoveries. So, let's talk about that tail. The Thresher Shark's most striking feature is its enormous caudal fin, which can be as long as its entire body. This isn't just for show, and it's not just for propulsion, though it does make them incredibly fast swimmers. The primary purpose of this massive tail is to hunt. It's a weapon, and one of the most unique in the entire animal kingdom. For decades, scientists could only theorize about how it was used. Then, thanks to modern underwater cameras, we finally saw it in action. The behavior, captured for the first time, is truly breathtaking. A Thresher shark will approach a school of small fish, like sardines or mackerel. It doesn't charge in, mouth agape. Instead, it positions itself perfectly. Then, in a movement that lasts only a few hundredths of a second, it whips its long tail over its head, like a medieval knight swinging a flail. The speed of this strike is unbelievable, sometimes reaching over 90 kilometers per hour. The force is so immense that it creates a small shockwave in the water, an audible crack that stuns the surrounding fish. Some are knocked unconscious, while others die instantly from the impact. The shark then calmly turns around and picks off the stunned and helpless prey, one by one. It's a brutally efficient, yet strangely elegant, hunting method. This raises a fascinating question. Why did the Thresher shark evolve this way? It's a very different strategy from other sharks. Threshers aren't particularly large, typically growing to about 3 to 4 meters long. While they have powerful jaws, they aren't equipped to take down large prey like seals or sea lions. They are open ocean hunters, specializing in catching small, fast-moving schooling fish. Hunting these schools is a game of energy efficiency. Chasing after a swarm of tiny fish is tiring and often futile. The energy required for high-speed pursuit is one of the biggest costs for any predator. But the Thresher shark has cracked the code. It doesn't need to engage in a long, exhausting chase. It simply gets into position once, and with a single explosive tail strike, it incapacitates multiple targets at once. You could almost call it nature's most minimalist hunting technique. It's a masterclass in conserving energy while maximizing the reward. Now, with a weapon like that, you might think the Thresher shark is a terrifying, dangerous creature. It certainly looks intimidating. But here's what many people get wrong. These sharks are actually incredibly shy and wary of humans. There are almost no documented, unprovoked attacks on people. Divers who have been lucky enough to encounter them almost always report the same thing. As soon as it saw us, it moved away. They are fast and powerful, but not aggressive toward us. They are ghosts of the deep, preferring to stay out of sight. Tragically, this shyness doesn't protect them from us. Thresher sharks are now listed as a vulnerable and endangered species. Their biggest threats are human activities. They are often caught accidentally in commercial fishing nets, a problem known as bycatch. They are also hunted for their fins and meat. Because they mature late and have few pups, their populations are struggling to recover from this intense pressure. The very hunter that perfected the art of the ambush is now the one being ambushed. Let's return to Jacques Cousteau. When his team finally managed to film the thresher shark's hunting behavior in detail, they were utterly captivated. The footage they captured is like a scene from an underwater ballet. It shows the shark gracefully herding a school of fish, using its body to bunch them together tightly. Then, in a sudden, fluid motion, it turns, and its tail slices through the water. You can almost feel the power, the sound wave rippling through the ocean. After the strike, the shark calmly turns back and plucks a stunned fish from the water, taking it gently into its mouth. Cousteau described this moment perfectly. He didn't see a monster, he saw an artist. He called it an underwater ballet, and it truly is. The thresher shark moves with a precision and grace that defies its reputation as a mere predator. It's a performer, not just a hunter. So why are these incredible animals so hard to find and study? One of the main reasons is their lifestyle. Thresher sharks are creatures of the deep. During the day, they typically reside in the dark, cold waters between 300 and 500 meters down, far beyond the reach of most recreational divers. They usually only ascend to shallower waters at night, or during brief hunting forays at dawn and dusk. This vertical migration has made them incredibly difficult to observe and film in their natural habitat for years. Even today, with all our advanced technology, getting a clear, prolonged view of a thresher shark in the wild is a rare and precious opportunity. They are fast, they dislike the bright lights of submersibles and cameras, and their first instinct when they feel threatened is to disappear into the depths. This is why the thresher remains one of the ocean's great mysteries. So much about them is still not fully understood. We are still piecing together the details of their social structures, their mating rituals, and their full geographic range. Even the exact evolutionary path that led to that ridiculously long tail isn't completely explained. The leading theory, as we discussed, is that it's an ingenious energy-saving strategy for hunting schooling fish. But nature is complex, and there may be other reasons we haven't even considered yet. The mystery is part of what makes this animal so compelling. In the end, perhaps Jacques Cousteau's greatest legacy was his profound respect for every single creature he encountered in the sea. He believed that every animal, no matter how strange or intimidating, had a story to tell. The thresher shark's story is one of the most extraordinary. It's the story of a hunter, but also an artist. A shark, but one that breaks all the stereotypes of the mindless monster we see in movies. It is a graceful ghost of the deep, a master of its craft, simply trying to survive in its vast blue world. By understanding and protecting these magnificent creatures, we honor the intricate and beautiful story of life in our oceans. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive. If you enjoyed learning about the thresher shark, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the unknown. See you next time.